Hey everyone, it is Willa. Welcome to today's video. I'm going to start off this video by saying that you are the youngest version of yourself right now, so why would you not start? When you hear people talk about when is the perfect time to start something, they always say now. They say do it uncomfortable, do it scared, do it when you know you don't have the perfect formula down, do it even if how you're doing it right now is sloppy until you start to perfect it and actually build from it. You have the power to start whenever you want to start, at whatever age that you are currently at right now. There is no law to how you're supposed to live your life at what specific age, and we're going to break that down in today's video. Some of the things that we gravitate towards so much, or that we have the biggest dreams for, are the ones that we make the most excuses for, the reasons why we can't accomplish it or we can't do it. And granted, I know real life is life and there actually are some real hard obstacles, but sometimes it's just you standing in your own way, and that is one of the hardest things to really look in the mirror about, because why aren't you living and doing the things that you want to do? Whether that be an actual physical obstacle that is happening or it be yourself, start making those little small changes and steps to it every single day and pouring into it in the best way that you can. Y'all know that is my favorite thing to say, taking those little tiny steps, because I promise you, small habits become big ones in everything, in good things and bad things. You will eventually see the fruits and you will see the seeds that you plant actually grow and be able to harvest from them, but you're not going to do that unless you actually plant the seed. So you might as well find a little thing that you can pour into every single day to get you closer to where you're trying to go, and just continue to stick with it. Also, I feel like what we do gravitate towards is truly what the Lord wants us to do in order for us to advance his kingdom. The Lord has blessed us all with gifts and talents and beautiful things within ourselves that we can use, that he can use through us to be able to expand his kingdom and also build community around you. When I was in middle school, I was a dancer. I danced a lot. I was a competitive dancer, and dance was very serious. It wasn't like an after school type of program. It was something that you actually needed to put a lot of your time and energy and focus into. And when you are on a competitive dance team, you know how serious it is. It's real business. After school, it's like you're there at the studio for 4 hours. You're not coming home until 9 p.m. and it's very time consuming. You are at the studio most days after school. You don't have a lot of freedom and time outside of school to do what you want to do. At school, I was focused on getting my schoolwork done because I knew I'd have to go to dance afterwards, and I had been dancing since I was 3 years old. I loved dance so much to the point where I was my whole life was dance. My whole life was dance. If I could put a picture of something up somewhere, or if they had to be oh, what is your favorite thing to do, I'm dance everything. I loved it. I started getting towards the later years of middle school, and I had a few girlfriends that I was friends with at my school, and they were all starting to get into field hockey, and it was a really popular sport at my school. And I remember thinking that I kind of really wanted to try to do field hockey. I had again poured so much time and energy into dance, and I never knew anything else. I've done dance my whole entire life, and I remember thinking I wanted to do field hockey so bad. And I remember talking to my mom about it. My mom was like, well, if you do field hockey, you got to choose one or the other, because you cannot go to field hockey practices and games and also do dance at the same time. You know how time consuming dance is. You don't have time to do both sports, so you need to choose. And I just remember at that time thinking well, I'm too old to start a new sport. I'm too old to get and start in this new sport that some of my friends have been playing already for 2 to 3 years, and if I jump into this sport, I don't know how to play anything, and I've been dancing my whole entire life. I might as well just stick with dance. And that's exactly what I did. I stuck with dance. But there was a part of me as I grew older that wished I tried another sport. It was one of those things where it's I would dibble and dabble into a little bit of sports. I tried gymnastics, but it's either gymnastics or dance, and I always went back to dance, which is why I didn't even try to get out of dance to go to field hockey. But I remember being in high school and doing cheer my senior year of high school, because I had actually quit my competitive team, and I loved it so much. That moment, I knew that you were just never too old to start. Like, you're never too old to start in the way that you think that you are. You can learn a new skill. Like, I was only 11 years old, 12 years old, maybe like 12, 13 years old, thinking I'm too old to start this. Like, I can't do it. I can't build this skill. And it's like crazy to think back now, because I'm like, you are a baby. Like, you could definitely start a new skill. And it's funny how we get older and we just think that we're too old to learn new skills or to develop new skills, to change our ways or change the ways that we've always known and kind of like switch up our formulas. Like, we can most certainly do that. And honestly, it is a part of life and evolution and growing to branch out into new different areas and try different things, because that's how opportunities and doors open up for you. You could start learning a skill today that opens up so many other doors for you along your journey of life and completely transform your life and have you become a brand new person. That is more powerful than you sitting there and not even trying or thinking like, I'm too old and I'm auntie as and I can't do this. I feared that slow start more than me actually like being able to enjoy the sport and enjoy, you know, being a different version of myself. Like, I feared the start more, and it's weird that that's how our brains kind of work, and like why we think, okay, we're too old to start this skill right now, we're too old to have a whole 180 in our life. Is because we kind of fear that start more. That start is so slow and it's grueling. Change and transition is never fun. Like, never fun. There's a lot of growing pains in it, and it's like feels like you're waking up confused every single day of your life. You're like, what is this? What is happening? What is going on? What is this version? And some people like get a high off of that. Like, some people get a high off of like change and new things. And sometimes, you know, in some areas of my life, I feel like that is the case. But I do have those areas where it's just like, okay, this kind of sucks. Like, this sucks. And that's our brain's way of trying to keep us comfortable and trying to keep us in a place of like, this is what you know, and this is what's familiar, and this is what I'm okay with, because our bodies are, and our mentals, our nervous systems are always going to chase familiarity. Our nervous systems attract familiarity, so they attract similar systems and people and cycles of life, environments, because it can prepare itself. Our nervous system's job is actually to like protect us. So as long as our nervous system is like, hey, I can protect you as long as you do X, Y, and Z, it's gonna like signal to your brain and like make you think, okay, this is what we should be doing, so I'm gonna go this way. It's kind of wild, because it just goes to show how like our brain and our nervous system like operate in a loop, and it's up to you to break that loop and break that cycle if you want change, and if you want to no longer be where you're currently at, or you want to go try something new, develop a new skill. It's literally fully up to you, because otherwise your body will take control and guide you into the same loop and cycle over and over again. Some of the most successful people that you know actually love failure. Every time I listen to a podcast where somebody's interviewing a very successful person, or there's a successful person speaking about their business or the development process of their journey of life, they always speak about how they use failure to their benefit. Now, I know you're probably like, okay, everybody says that, like, but it's a lot easier said than done, which are most things in life. However, being afraid of failure is the quickest and most easiest way to prevent you from taking a risk and doing anything in life, actually taking those first steps to change. You cannot fear failure at all with anything that you do, because life is about learning. It's about lessons. You don't go to school and pass every single one of your tests. You don't go to school and already know all the knowledge and information. You have to learn. You have to learn, apply, and practice, and then take the test. Some tests are going to be great and some tests are going to be bad, but when you fail, you learn from that. You can look at how you failed and what steps brought you to that point, and you could be like, okay, now I know what to do. I can use that and learn from it, and then go a different way and now master what it is that I am learning. You are obviously not going to get directly from point A to point B. There's going to be some mishaps. There's going to be some little bumps along the road. It's okay, but learn to love failure. Faith is rooted in never giving up. Like, faith is actually like if you get a no, find a way to get a yes. Like, if you get a no, redirect yourself into get a yes. Change your mentality and pivot. Like, just pivot and be like, okay, I'm gonna go this way, or I'm gonna do this, or I'm gonna continue to not give up. Even if it looks like your roads and your ends are blocked, do not give up. Continue to remain faithful that I'm still gonna get to where I need to get. That's exactly how it is when we are growing and learning in life around failure. It's like having that faith that even if I do fail, I am still going to succeed at this eventually, some way, somehow. Do not let society's timeline have a hold on you. We have created this timeline where we go to school, we go to college, we graduate, we have a family, you get a job, you have a family, and you live on your life. But over the past, like, I want to say 10, 15 years, we have been proven time and time again that there is a life to live outside of that timeline. There is a life to live outside of the structural, societal timeline of you do X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, X, Y, and Z, and you don't have to live that way. And I know this is kind of old news. Like, everyone's like, yeah, of course I don't. That's why I'm striving for better and greater things. Not to say that's not great, because that is great. That is great. If you want to take that route, I say that's a beautiful timeline. But I do go to say that don't allow that timeline to restrict you from what you think is appropriate and what's not appropriate for your age, because that's nobody's business but yours. I have been in a season of life where, as long as I am currently doing right now what makes me happy, that is the only thing that matters. Because I don't want to get older and then look back at me and be like, dang, like, you were not doing what you truly wanted to do, so now this future version of myself is also not doing what I want to do. Like, it is crazy how much of an illusion life can be sometimes when it comes down to your own mental and, like, feeling trapped in that fear and that, like, perspective. Because when I tell you that that is not the case, like, you can go live your life and do whatever you want to do. Like, seriously, whatever you want to do at whatever age. Do not allow a timeline of how you're supposed to be living life restrict you from anything. Sometimes you're not going to know exactly what you want to do for your life when you're graduating high school and going into college. And when I tell you, I was in college and I changed my major 800 million times because I was like, I'm 18 years old, I don't know what I want to do for my life. And then I graduated and I still work very similar into my degree. I actually do work in my degree area. However, I still have so many other passions that I've developed outside of my degree and outside of everything that I learned in college that I'm like, wow, I would go back to school for this, or I would go back to school to learn how to do this, because you are constantly evolving and shaping your identity with your experience of life. So do not think that you have a full version or you've grown to your fullest potential at a specific age, because we are forever going to be students. And that is one of the beautiful things about life. We all came down here to learn, to grow, and to have each other in that process. So lean into that a little bit more and allow yourself to be a student in whatever it is that you have wanted to achieve or you've wanted to learn about. And on the flip side of that, a lot of people will say that you have so much time to go figure out what you want to go do. You have so much time. And although that is the case, there also is that side of it that it's like, do what makes you happy right now. Do what makes you happy right now. Don't allow yourself to go another day of you feeling like, I need a change, this isn't right, I'm feeling heavy, I'm in a little bit of like a funkiness. Like, do what makes you happy. And of course, not everybody has the privilege to just jump up and start living their best life tomorrow, because I promise you, if that was the case, I'd be in Turks and Caicos tomorrow. But I do want to say that you can take those little steps to just pour into yourself and pour into what it is that you truly want and the way that you want to live your life. Plant those seeds, plant them right now, because this is the most perfect time to do it. God will continue to help you water those seeds as long as you let him, and as long as you continue to remain faithful in him and all of his goodness that he does have for you. Abundance is so close to you. It is you genuinely deserve all the abundance of the world, and I always say that in all my videos because it is so true. Do not think that you or anybody else is got a different piece of the pie. Don't feel discouraged. You have the power to change your life today, and I hope that this video encouraged you to just get up and start it. Start it somewhere. Start it rough. Start it ugly. Start it transparently. Start it up somewhere, because as long as you start today, you could be so much further in the next 3-4 years just from being consistent. Continue to pour into yourself, and you are truly exactly where you should be, and you're on time. Just because you're discovering some flowers a little bit later in your garden doesn't mean that you are late. But I love you so much, and I will see you in another video. Bye.